What's up, guys? We have a couple draft box sixes that we're going to open today. We're going to do things a little bit differently. At the end of this one, we are going to look at the financial value, if I can figure out how to edit that in. But until then, welcome to the video, and let's crack some packs. We got the cool promo cards here. The leader. That's nice. Let's hop right into it. I honestly don't know much about this set. I'm excited to crack packs because cracking packs is a lot of fun. But I have no idea what we're looking for. I know the Bardock Ape super rare and the Demigra super rare money. Beyond that, I don't know what to look for. So let's just go for it. I'm just sort of gonna skip through the bulk for the most part. I will say these do look cool. Okay, we have a rare, so it's a foil rare, Anguilla. I think all the rares come in foil only, and the super rares as well. And then I don't think there's any foil commons and uncommons in this set. There have been some complaints about the cardstock being a little more flimsy. I don't really notice anything that different, to be honest. But maybe that'll change as times go on. I'm just going to keep the rares over here. The bulk can be off screen because nobody cares about the bulk. I don't know that there's a ton of super valuable bulk, common, uncommon in this set. Okay, and would you look at that? We've got another rare. And our first super rare, Anguilla. Alright. Keep him right there. I don't remember what he does. You know, let's take a quick look. 3-drop yellow. Bond 2 critical if you have 4 or more cards in rest mode. When this card attacks, your opponent chooses 2 of their cards in rest mode, and they're locked, basically. So not terrible. I mean, the important part is that he's a 15k body and that he's a critical Slugs army. So I know they're sort of pushing yellow and the green-yellow archetype now from Slugs army. So we'll see what happens with that, if that gets any traction. Downfall of the Pride. Okay. Just a little bulk. Art looks fantastic. I wish this came in foil. Oh. There we go. Okay. King Piccolo, rare. Oh, Trunks Unison. I forgot that this was in the set. Let's take a quick look at this when this card is played. Not bad, not bad. We'll keep going through. Another Vegeta Xeno. Maybe we can use that for some fusion fodder. I don't think it's really a Vegex. I mean, there's better Vegeta Xeno targets in Vegex, so that one's sort of out the window. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm pretty much flying dark with this set. All I know is I got a lot of draft boxes. Okay, Tyrannical Blue. I have seen some movement on this one. I think this one's worth maybe $1. Not angry to see that one. Yeah, so let's talk about the draft boxes for a second. So I think it's a great concept, and the thing is, I've never actually drafted with a draft box. The local scene in my area in Southern California is, you know, even pre-COVID, it's big, but no one's really in the mood to draft. You know, it's just something that we never really have a big affinity for, I guess. So, I mean, ever since Draft Box 4, we've just been cracking these and taking what we can for them. But 4 and 5 have some of the most generically powerful cards in the game, and I don't think there's anyone that will say that that's a positive, especially with how short printed they were. I know they're reprinting like the Rebrian and a couple other cards in the March set, but I mean, I sort of digress. I think the set is a little underpowered compared to Draft Box 4 and 5, and I think that's okay. I think that's probably the right direction for this to go. So Let me know in the comments if you guys have drafted and what the experience was like and how maybe it compared to Draft Box 4 and 5. Anyway, let's keep going. Whistled Melody for the rare. It does look a little bit like it has that protective film that you might peel off from a new computer screen or a refrigerator or any sort of electronic device. So I'm not crazy about the foiling. It's certainly not bad. It's just, you know, it's better than shatter foiling. It's just not set 10 and set 11 quality. Here we go. So our first Giant Force rare. I think this is one of the more expensive ones. Radit Giant Force Unison. We'll keep that here. I've heard that it's about 7 super rares per set and about 3 Giant Force rares, per box, and about 3 Giant Force rares per box too. So those ratios are pretty good. All right, another super. Super Namekian Might. Interesting. I wonder if there's color mapping in this set, like there is in set 11. I mean, for draft, that almost... It makes sense for one player. The other 3 players sort of get hosed. Man, these cards are slippery. I don't know if my hands are a little moist or what, but another rare. I think, if memory serves, I think there's 23 super rares, 12 Giant Force rares, and 16 regular rares. So the ratios aren't great, especially if you're looking to get playsets. I think this card's fantastic. I love how they do the either or, sort of the hybrid mana if you play Magic concept for the activate mana. I think that's really cool. Hopefully we see more of that in the future and less just blatantly power corrupt cards. I think that's sort of the way forward to make sure this game lasts a little bit longer, is to provide alternatives that maybe are a little underwhelming instead of just things that are just generically better. Alright, we've got a Kami here. I don't think any of these rares are worth more than maybe $1. So, you know, when we do the financial value tally at the end, we're not going to look at much other than just the Giant Force rares and the super rares. Okay. So I do enjoy the art on these. I think it's cool, the archetypes that they chose. I mean, you've got Slug in yellow, the whole sort of Bardock's crew in blue, which is really cool that they kept that on color. Red is the Namekian, sort of Dragonball King Piccolo series. I don't really know what green is doing. Okay, final Heat Phalanx. I have seen a little bit of movement on this. You know, you see a red-blue extra card and it's immediate candidate for Invokers, so something to keep on the radar. And then, hey, there we go, Piccolo Jr. Giant Force, not a bad pull. Okay, we got a Tora, rare, probably worth a couple pennies. Like I said, you know, at this point, with Draft Box 4 and 5 being short printed and everyone just cracking them and cracking them and cracking them, a lot of people, myself included, just sort of said, okay, well, I'm just going to order a lot of the next Draft Box, and I'm going to try to sell these as singles when I get them, just try to plus. You know, that works great if the product is in high demand, but I haven't seen a lot of market movement right now for Draft Box 6. I mean, a lot of the super rares are actually like back at reasonable prices, you know, back when super rares were 6-7 copies a box, like 6-7 and earlier, and before COVID sort of sent the market into a weird fishtail. But anyway, I digress. You got super rare, cool. So we do have some green. Great Saiyaman 2. This card's actually really good. I think it's sort of slept on. It's not super flashy, but I think you can actually you know, sort of do quite a lot in one turn with that. That is something that I've heard people say, where it's sort of just a really high level sanity check about how good something is how many actions per turn can you take. And the more stuff you can do in the turn, the more likely you are to produce results. Okay. Son Goku, Powered It Protect. It's going over in the rare pile, probably will never see the light of day. All right, cool. Toa. I like what they're doing with the black unisons right now with their perms where they can't attack if they don't have X amount of markers on them or more. I think that's a great way to keep black unisons balanced, but at the same time, like black needs some unisons. My old Hatchet deck, it needs some unison support. I love seeing the old Dragonball art. Alright, some red yellow support. It's been a while, but I'm glad to see that come in. Man, we're looking for that Demigra. I think the Raditz, I think this one is actually the most expensive Giant Force rare. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to confirm after the video. Oh, sorry, spoiled it. Okay, green red, that is what it is. And there's our probably last Giant Force rare, Lord Slug. Yeah, it's probably middle of the road. Middle of the road. Oh my god. Hey, there we go. Okay, so I think this rare is actually the most expensive one. Corn Tower's Secret Medicine. You know, it's similar to a Senzu Bean in red. It's approaching, and we all know how, you know, when I first saw Senzu Bean starting to play, I'm like, okay, cool, that's whatever. But when you play with Senzu Bean, you understand that in certain metagames, it's actually sort of the linchpin from keeping the whole game from unraveling. So I think that's cool. I think that card it's going to see play. You know, it's probably the same tier as you know, Hasty Dispatch Dispo, Not Even a Scratch, those type of cards from DB5 where, you know, they're not staples per se, but they're definitely metagame relevant. You know, hope you guys are okay with me skipping through the commons and uncommons. I mean, maybe I'll do the next pack a little bit slower, but, you know, there's just not, I feel bad saying this, there's just not a ton that's super special there. Like I said in my set 11 opening videos, it's sort of a catch-22, right? Because Bandai can't power creep every set so that the last sets become irrelevant. But at the same time, they need to make it new and interesting enough to sell product and keep the game alive. So, you know, props to Bandai. I think they're doing a great job. And I think this set, for being sort of a non-main set intermediary, is exactly where it needs to be. All right, so another final Heat Phalanx, and then, hey, all right, so another Giant Force rare. Interesting. So it looks like we're getting 4 per box. Super interesting. Also interesting that we got 3 reds and a blue. I'm interested to see if that continues in our other boxes, because like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the color mapping. Okay, there's, oh well, that's not a great picture for the color mapping here. You know, oh, you guys with me? Okay. That's not a great pattern that we're seeing here. So I'm seeing 3 red out of 4 on the Giant Force rare and 3 yellow out of 5 on the super rare slot. So it's not unusual, but you know, if we get one more, that might sort of point towards the mapping issue. Okay, Tapion, like I said, great card. Let's see if we can just rotate a little bit. There we go. I'm on a slightly new setup in case you guys have noticed, where my camera is rigged to a broomstick on a different table, so it's a little different. Hey, there we go, super rare. Okay, so it looks like, wow, 4 out of 6 super rares yellow. I do think this card is good. I do think that the yellow Skillless Gohan deck is actually super slept on. But you know, hey, glad to see that. Glad to see that in the meta, or sorry, in the in my collection now. Skip through the bulk. There we go, the Hirudegarn package. I think the new Hirudegarn package is awesome. I think it's a super cool way to bring back an old archetype, so excited to see that. Alright guys, so here you have it. You've got rares. You know, let's see how many rares we pulled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 rares. So it looks like we got, you know, maybe they offset. I might have miscounted by 1, but you get a super rare, 7 super rares, and maybe 4 Giant Force rares, and it looks like you get a rare in the same pack as a Giant Force rare. You know, 11 hits out of 24 packs. is not bad. That's not a bad ratio. You know, especially at the price that I got these boxes at. So I'm pretty stoked. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.